Welcome to Flip That Food. This is your host, Rachel Davis Stewart, the Culinary Extraordinaire. Why? Because I make extraordinary, healthy food with international flair. We have a special guest today, and she's going to show us her healthy recipes and ways that she likes to stay healthy and cook for her friends and family. The guest is Aunt Helen. Our first meal today is going to be Aunt Helen's veggie loaded pizza, loaded with veggies and spinach tortillas and all types of vitamins and minerals. And to accompany Aunt Helen's pizza, I'm going to show you a brownie. I'm going to show you a homemade brownie with a strawberry icing. I know everybody loves chocolate and strawberries together, and that includes myself. So the brownie is going to be homemade with a homemade strawberry icing, and it's going to be delicious. And just to quench our thirst, I'm also going to do a cucumber lemonade for my viewers. So enjoy, email, and keep enjoying the recipes you see on Flip That Food. I'm going to slowly melt 3/4 cup of butter. Real American butter. No strange oils going on. And I'm also going to melt 2 ounces of chocolate, a 2-ounce square of unsweetened chocolate. Make sure your chocolate is unsweetened. So I have my chocolate and my butter melted on a nice low flame. And then while they're melting on a nice low flame, I'm going to talk about the other ingredients that go in this brownie. I have 1 cup of sugar, and I also have 3/4 cup of flour, and I'm going to whisk it together very delicately, and have a pinch of salt and a pinch of baking powder, and I do mean just a pinch. I know a lot of people have issues with high blood pressure or whatever the case may be, so we don't want to have excess salt, especially in our desserts, which is not necessary. Okay, so I have my dry ingredients and I have my wet ingredients. Some things I like to add to my brownies to give them a special flavor. You have to play with your own ingredients, your own add-ins. I like to add a pinch of cinnamon. And I also like to add a pinch of vanilla extract. You don't have to measure because the main ingredients are, of course, the butter, the chocolate, the dry ingredients. Anything extra, that's just your way to swag the dish the way you desire. Another thing I like to add is just a pinch of instant coffee of brownies. And I just make sure it's nice and whisked together. And of course, when I add my wet ingredients, you're going to get a nice brown glob of chocolatey goodness. Okay, these ingredients are still melting, still getting where they need to be for the brownie. Yeah. So I have this chocolate and butter just getting lovely for my viewers to enjoy, and I know you're going to enjoy it. It's like a chocolate and butter soup. It's not going to be good yet, but it's getting there, as you can see. Pan. And in order to prep my pan, I like to use my store-bought nonstick cooking spray. I like to use the butter flavored one because it gives the food a nice extra flavor, and we already know that butter and baked goods go great hand in hand. So make sure you use a nonstick spray that will enhance your brownies. And I also have to take my parchment paper, because the parchment paper is going to ensure that all this hard work doesn't go to waste, because it's going to make sure that nothing sticks to my glass pan. Because I hate to waste brownies. Especially homemade brownies, good brownies. And you just really need to estimate the right size piece of parchment paper to put in your pan. Right size parchment. And I'm just going to fold it over delicately so that it fits in my pan. You can fold it or cut it, whatever you have to do to let it fit in whatever size pan you're using, but you don't want to skip out on the parchment paper, and you don't want to substitute the parchment paper for anything else. Don't try 4 here, guys. So I have my pan gently lined with parchment paper ready to receive my wet and dry ingredients medley. Let me check on my chocolate and butter. As you can see, nothing's burning, nothing's bubbling, and it's completely melted. Turn off the stove right then and right there. Next, I'm going to mix these together. So I have my dry ingredients here, and I have this lovely melted chocolate and butter medley. And I'm just going to pour them together. Like I said, I don't want to waste any of this melted chocolate and real American butter, so I'm going to have to scrape it with a spoon. Hate to waste it because we don't want a brownie that's lacking any chocolatey goodness, any chocolatey flavor. So I have those two ingredients together, and I'm going to start stirring really gently. And what you can see is you get like a really dry, kind of chocolatey, sandy, sugary situation. Next, I'm going to add 2 whole eggs. I don't want to overbeat my eggs because for this type of homemade brownie, you don't want it fluffy. You want a dense brownie that has a nice, crispity, crunchity top. And because I just handled eggs, we already know I'm going to wash my hands. Eggs are in the brownies, and I'm just going to blend it together. See, it's done. We have this lovely, chocolatey, muddy, sugary, buttery, good situation here. And I'm just going to press it out into my pan and bake it for 15 to 20 minutes. So going in the pan. It's going to be good as is. But wait till you taste it with this homemade strawberry icing. You're going to be like, what was I eating before? It's going to be so good. And I'm using strawberries fresh from my garden. I pick them, I rinse them, and I freeze them. And I take them out as needed to embellish my dishes for my friends and family, and to also show my viewers in TV land so many things you can do with strawberries, fresh or frozen. Kind of guide it through, make sure it spreads out evenly. Another thing I like to do to make sure it spreads out, I like to spray my spoon with my nonstick spray right over the brownies and make sure it's pressed gently into the sides of the pan. And just beat it on a surface a few times to make sure it's nice and even and level. No air bubbles, and bake it for 15 or 20 minutes on a 350 degree oven, and make sure it is preheated. Alright viewers, so you just saw what I did with my brownies. They're in the oven. They just need maybe 10-15 more minutes and they'll be ready to get cooled and get iced. So while the brownies are going, a perfect accompaniment to brownies is a delicious pizza. And Aunt Helen is going to do the pizza and just talk about all types of fitness and health things and explain why her pizza is so delicious. So let's hear what Aunt Helen has to say.
Hi, I'm getting ready to make a vegetarian pizza today for the family to taste for the first time. First of all, I'm starting with the jacket for the pizza. And first of all, I'll put some tomato paste in it.
Okay, wow, Aunt Helen, what she's saying jacket is a nice spinach and herb tortilla. And this spinach and herb tortilla that she's using is a good base for her pizza, and she's spreading the tomato sauce, and this is a shortcut for your pizza. So Aunt Helen is saving all the viewers some time and energy with a quick, easy jacket or pizza crust, which is the spinach tortilla. Spinach also going to add more flavor and a little bit more nutrition. So Aunt Helen is definitely off to a great start with a healthy pizza.
So now that I have the tomato paste spread on there, I'll start by putting a little bit of the cheese on there. Next, I'll be adding a few onions and peppers to the pizza. Putting layer by layer of vegetables on the pizza to make it delicious and tasty for everyone. Now that I have a little onions on there, I'll put some of the spinach on there. Okay, next we'll add some carrots to it. We'll have a real thick pizza. Okay, so now we'll add some mushrooms. It's no fat or cholesterol in these mushrooms, okay? Okay, now I'm spreading the mushrooms on the pizza. You can see that the pizza is going to be a thick pizza. So we will complete the pizza by putting the rest of the cheese on top of the pizza, the grated cheese. So I just spray some little spray on top of it. Into the oven it goes. We'll talk about it when it comes out and how it tastes. The oven is set on 350. Should take about 20 minutes.
Viewers, my brownies are looking great. They came out the oven, and then I pierced them with a knife, and the knife came out clean. That's how you know they're done. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to sit them in the fridge and let them cool while I prepare the icing for the brownies. I'm even going to do the freezer because I'm so anxious to get these brownies out and eat them. Sit them in the freezer, try to expedite the cooling process. So my brownies are cooling off in the freezer because we're so anxious to get this icing on. And the brownies have to be room temperature for the icing to work properly and not get too runny. So I have my pan set up like this. I have a double broiler is what this is called. I have a pot with boiling water. Then I have an empty pan right here, and I'm going to add sugar and water to my pan. And I'm going to turn the heat down really low because all I'm trying to do is sterilize the eggs and melt the sugar. Okay. So I have my sugar and my water. Then I also have egg whites. Now these are already clean and pasteurized, and they're not going to give you salmonella, but just to be on the double safe side, I still like to bring them up to temperature anyway. So I have egg whites, granulated sugar, and water on a low flame double boiler setup. Next thing I'm going to add is my strawberries. Strawberries are coming right out of my freezer, and they're delicious. They originated from my own backyard garden. So I have my strawberries, my egg whites, my white sugar, and my water in the pan, just melting away. The strawberries are defrosting, and you can tell by the consistency and the temperature that the sugar is dissolving. And I'm going to add just a touch more white sugar because the sugar is what really makes this a nice, tight, thick frosting. Putting it on the brownies at the right temperature is going to help make it that nice, thick, stable frosting that we need. Just stirring away, making sure everything as far as the sugar is melted, the strawberries are melted and soft, and then we're just going to make it extra happy in the food processor. Alright, so I have my medley of strawberries, sugar, and egg whites already dissolved, nice and pink, sitting on my pan. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spoon out the strawberry medley. I don't want to not get any strawberries. Get all the strawberries first because that's your main flavor and color. It's still a nice hot temperature, but that's okay. It's going on a cool brownie, and when it dries, it's going to give a little extra crust because it's going to transition from hot to cold. Okay. So I'm going to add a little bit more of the water, sugar, egg white, water medley to it. Okay. So essentially, it's all sitting in the base of my food processor, and I'm going to put it in. And now I'm going to add what really makes an icing is powdered sugar. So I'm going to add the powdered sugar. And let it get nice and thick. I'm going to over powder sugar it because it's easy to adjust the water if it's too thick. So we see we have a nice, thin, pink situation, but we see it's still a little watery. And if it's watery, the way we remedy that is with more powdered sugar. So I'm just going to take a little more powdered sugar. Powdered sugar is in every ice, and it gives it, it's the thickener and the sweetener flavoring agent. So it's pretty much indispensable in baking. It's going to give a nice tight icing. Okay, so now it's nice and thick and spreadable. And I'm just going to spread it on my brownies and give it about 30 minutes to set up before we cut into it. Okay. Have my brownies here, and I have the strawberry buttercream with no food coloring added, so it's not like fluorescent pink. It's just a simple and delicious strawberry buttercream. So I'm just going to pour it on, spread it out nice and thin, and let it set up. So it should look just like this, guys. Brownies. Nice thick icing, not runny. Then we're just going to let it set up, and then the icing is going to get a nice crust. Then we're going to taste it, let you know why it's so delicious and all natural and a healthier version of a brownie. So we have our pizza ready. As you can see, we can't wait to try it. Brownies with the strawberry icing. Icing is nice and dry, not runny, just exactly what we wanted. And now we're going to finish off this meal with a lovely, refreshing beverage, which is going to be a cucumber lemonade. In order to do that, I have rinsed 3 large cucumbers, and I'm going to just chop off the ends. Chop off the ends, and I'm going to put them in my garden to compost later. I'm going to give them rough cut, skin, seeds, the whole 9. It's going in the drink because it's going to help with the flavor and the color. Flavor and color are going to be enhanced because of the skin, seeds, and everything. Nothing special, just a rough chop. The ingredients for this are simple. Cucumbers, sugar to taste, and about a 1/2 cup of lemon juice. If you need more sugar, add more sugar, but it's to taste. And of course, you're going to serve it with ice. And when we put it all together, we're going to let the viewers know how good it is. All my cucumbers in. Nice rough chop. The lemon, I took a shortcut and used store-bought lemon juice. Just going to pulse all the cucumbers, and when they're done, strain them, sweeten it like you do a normal lemonade. Chopping the cucumbers so they're super fine. You want just a little more cucumber juice than you want lemon juice, because you want the cucumber flavor to be pronounced. And you know, lemon can overpower everything, but the lemon in this case is just an accent. I'm going to go ahead and start adding my lemon juice, because it's going to help extract some of the color and flavor from the cucumbers. Cucumber, lemon, and sugar. Very simple. Okay. All done, and I'm gonna start straining the strain. Okay, so I just strained it, and you see it's just a lovely green hue, and I'm just gonna dilute the cucumber, the lemon, and the sugar with a little filtered water. Seamless, easy, quick, and refreshing. You'll see when we taste it. Okay, so our whole meal is complete, and you can see Aunt Helen is cutting the pizza, and I just can't wait to try it. Mind if I grab a piece of that, Aunt Helen, and
Okay.
let my viewers know how good your veggie pizza is. Oh wow, it's going on the plate.
Oh, get me
Nice
a piece
and
also.
stable. Let me get a plate for Aunt Helen. Then we're just gonna taste the pizza. Let the viewers know what the deal is.
Good and zesty.
I gotta give my aunt a high five on that one. Viewers, this pizza is delicious. You see it's nice and stable and spinachy. It's not soggy. It's not greasy. You have got to try this recipe. But I don't want you to forget about the brownie. I'm going to cut the brownie so Aunt Helen and I can also let the viewers know that this is another winning recipe.
I want the corner.
All right. Oh, wow. Viewers, you're going to love these brownies. You can see that the icing is nice and stable. It's not runny. It's not drippy. I'm going to put a little piece on my plate. Then Aunt Helen has requested the corner. Nice, crispy corner. All right, viewers. So you see the icing on that brownie? It's just delicious and stable, and it's set up well because I let it rest for about 15 minutes. Here you go, Aunt Helen. Let me slide this on your plate, and then we'll taste these brownies.
Oh. Delicious. Well, final licking, delicious.
A simple, delicious way to use strawberries, get a little bit more vitamin C into your diet. I have to take another bite on camera because I'm a chocolate and strawberry fan.
I'm a food fan. Everything is delicious.
Did I do okay with the brownies, Aunt Helen?
Delicious.
All right, another high five. Now, I wanted to talk about this lovely cucumber lemonade. You see it's pretty. You see I took the time to garnish it with a cucumber and a straw and plenty of ice. We just have to try it and tell the viewers what it is.
Cool and refreshing.
It's a day on the beach.
Delicious.
It's definitely something different. And can you taste the cucumber?
Yes.
Yeah, the cucumber is good, and it's just a nice, subtle thing to add to your lemonade. Hydration. Cucumber helps with dehydration, and just like a coconut water, it's a natural hydrator. It's like God's Gatorade. So get excited about the cucumber lemonade, the veggie pizza, and the brownies, and make sure you try these recipes.
And so, one of my fitness tips I have for you is if you want, you should get your pulse rate up to 80 each day. And one of the ways I get my pulse rate up to 80 is to do this. This is a good fitness exercise to get that pulse rate really popping. Okay, I think it's about time to stop. If I check my pulse, I didn't do 80 that time, but it's really pumping.
We also want to thank Aunt Helen for just showing the viewers some of the exercises she does to stay fit and healthy, slim and trim. And I'm not going to tell you how old Aunt Helen is, but Aunt Helen's no spring chicken, but she has the vibrancy of one thanks to that fitness tip she showed you.
Also, since we have some people around that might not want a complete vegetarian pizza, I cooked some bacon on the side. So if the person, when the pizza come out the oven, if they want to add some bacon tips, you know, just break the bacon up and put it on a pizza, they may do so to get that meat taste. But it's bacon that was cooked over a drain pan, so there would be no oil left in the bacon.